Hello, welcome to Easy Learn 360. Today's topic is physiology and introduction. So the subtopics we are going to discuss is what is physiology and anatomy, levels of organization in the body, systems of the body, and life processes. These three topics are common in both physiology and anatomy. So what is physiology and anatomy? Physiology is the study of organism and its constituent parts, while anatomy is a study of body structure. In physiology, we are more focusing on how the parts of the human body work. It considers topics such as molecular mechanism responsible for muscle contraction, that is, how the muscles contract and relax to perform a particular movement in our body. Another example is that how the blood pressure is maintained by four organs like heart, kidneys, brain, and glands. Now, anatomy, it is a study of body structure. That is, what is an organ made up of? But always these two subjects cannot truly be separated. The function of a body part is a reflection of its structure. For example, the alveoli in the respiratory system, they are otherwise called air sacs. The walls of alveoli are very thin so that the air exchange can be done very easily. While in the urinary bladder, in the excretory system, the lining of urinary bladder is very thick. Why? Because it will prevent the escape of urine from the urinary bladder. At the same time, it is very extensible also. The urinary bladder lining, the walls, it can extend and can hold a maximum amount of urine in the inside it. So when we study the structure of an organ, we can easily study the function also. The next is levels of organization in the body. When we study physiology or anatomy, we explore our human body in different levels. When we place our human body in a different hierarchy from its smallest part to the highest level, we can say that it is divided as 6 levels. That is chemical level, cellular level, tissue level, organ level, system level, and organizational level. Chemical level, this is a very basic level which includes the atoms and molecules. Uh, the atoms are the smallest unit of matter which takes place in a chemical reaction, and when two or more atoms combine together, they form the molecules. The atoms which are very much essential for human body are carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, etc. When these two or three atoms combine together, they form the molecules which are the very basic components in our human body. They are water, glucose, proteins, fats, DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a genetic material that is transferred from one generation to another. So when these molecules combine together, they form cells and give rise to the next level, that is the cellular level. Cellular level is the basic structural and functional unit of the body, cells. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit. Why it is called so? Because a single cell performs all the life processes. Example, epithelial cell, connective tissue cell, muscular cell, nerve cells. When cells combine together, they form the next level, that is the tissues. When two or more similar cells combine together to perform a specific function, it is called a tissue. The four basic types of tissues in our body are epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissues are found mostly over the body surfaces. It is lining the hollow organs or ducts and forms the glands. It is mainly for protection or secretion. Then next is the connective tissue. Connective tissue is more found all over the body. It is abundantly found all over the body, and there are different varieties of connective tissues. For example, bone, cartilage, blood. These are all examples for connective tissue. They support, protect, stores energy as fat, For example, adipose tissue. They store energy as well. Adipose tissue is also a type of connective tissue. The next is muscular tissue. It contracts to produce movement. Then next is the nervous tissue. This is a part of nervous system. It detects and responds to changes in the body's external or internal environment. Nerve cells, otherwise called neurons, they combine together to form the nervous tissue. Okay, then these three or all the types of tissues combined together, they give rise to the next level of organization, that is the organ level. So what is an organ? An organ is a structure composed of two or more different types of tissues. Examples are stomach, small intestine, heart, brain, skin, etc. For example, in stomach we have epithelial and connective tissue in the outer layering, and into the innermost layer we have the smooth muscle tissues, and then again an epithelial lining, so that the secretions which help in the digestion process are secreted. So three or four types of tissues are combining together to form the organ to perform a particular function. Usually the organs have a specific structure or shape. Then next is, when two or three related organs combine together to perform the function, then give rise to the system level of organization. So a system is also known as organ system. They consist of related organs. For example, we take respiratory system. The organs involved in respiratory system are nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. So all these organs are involved in the common function of transferring oxygen from inhaled air to the blood and carbon dioxide from blood to exhaled air, and they also help regulate the acid-base balance of body fluids. So all these organs, they are involved in a particular function. Another example is the urinary system. The organs involved in urinary system are kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. Functions are excretion, acid-base balance, regulates volume and chemical composition of blood. Another important thing is that an organ is not particularly for a particular system. Sometimes an organ is part of more than one system. For example, pancreas. It is part of both digestive system and also the hormone producing endocrine system. Here also the two examples I told, a respiratory system and in the urinary system, both are involved in the acid-base balance of the body. So when systems or the whole systems combine together, they form the next higher level or the highest level of organization, that is the organism itself. So organism is any living individual. All organ systems collectively form the organism. Here the two important things we need to know is the emergent properties and integration. Where, as you see, each smaller level combine together to form the higher level. But when the higher level is reached, at each level, from smaller level to higher level, when they're combining, some of the properties emerge from the smaller one. And these are called emergent properties. These are caused by the interactions of the simpler components of the lower levels of organization. For example, the emotions or intelligence, thoughts, memories. These are emergent properties of the brain. Brain is the organ level that are not present at the lower levels of brain organization, such as the nervous tissue or the individual neurons. If we take a single neuron, it cannot do the function of intelligence or emotion or thought processes. But when all the neurons combine together to form the nervous tissue, and when all the nervous tissue combine together to form the brain as such is able to do all these functions, that is the emotions, thoughts, memories. These are called the emergent properties. And then another one is the integration. Integration means it's a process by which several components work together for a common unified purposes. So thus the body is much more than the sum of its parts. It is a result of integrated activities between components at essentially all levels of organization. The next thing we are going to study is the life processes. As we have discussed earlier, I said that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life because it can perform all the life processes. So what are life processes? Life processes means these are some of the specialities which distinguishes organism as living things or non-living things. So they are metabolism, responsiveness, movement, growth, differentiation, reproduction. Metabolism involves both catabolism and anabolism. Let us discuss each in details. So, the metabolism. Metabolism means it is a sum of all chemical reactions that is taking place in our body. It can be divided into two, that is anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism means formation of complex chemical substances. That is, it is, for example, the formation of proteins from amino acids. Amino acids, they combine together with the involvement of energy and form proteins. So here energy is utilized to form a complex chemical substance that is called anabolism. While in catabolism, it is destruction or breaking down. So the breaking down of or the breakdown of complex chemical substances into simpler components is called catabolism. Here the energy is released. So in our body both catabolism and anabolism are taking place. The combined term for anabolism and catabolism is the metabolism. Another example I can say about this metabolism is the digestion process. When we ingest food, what is happening? Digestion. Digestion means catabolism. That is, it is breaking down our food into simpler parts so that the body can absorb it. When the body absorbs that simpler parts, it will utilize that to form complex chemical substances. That is, food is broken down to glucose. Glucose is absorbed by the body. Again, this glucose is utilized to form complex chemical substances. Okay, so that is metabolism. Then next is the responsiveness. What is responsiveness? Another important feature of a living organism is that we can respond to external or internal changes. When someone touches you, you are able to understand that, oh, somebody is touching me. That is responsiveness. Only living organism can respond to it. So the another important feature is the movement. Movement means motion of whole body, individual organs, single cells, or even tiny structures inside cells. We human beings can move from one place to another. The movement doesn't mean that we have to move from one place to another. Even if we are sitting idly or sleeping, some movements are happening inside our body also. For example, the movement of intestines to move the food down to the down into the digestive tract. So these are also part of movement. The next is growth. Growth means increase in body size that results from an increase in the size of existing cells or increase in the number of cells or both. So, in addition, a tissue sometimes increases in size because the amount of material between the cells increases. In a growing bone, mineral deposits accumulate between bone cells, causing the bone to grow in length and width. So, only the living organisms have this special process to grow. Then next, the life process is differentiation. Differentiation means development of a cell from an unspecialized or precursor cells to a specialized state. The unspecialized cells we can say as precursor or stem cells. Example for differentiation is that the production of leukocytes and red blood cells. All these cells are arising from a common cells. These precursor cells or stem cells are unspecialized one, but through a process these are differentiated or specialized into form leukocytes, that is white blood cells, and red blood cells, which have specific and different functions in our body. Another example for differentiation is the process by which the zygote is getting differentiated into adult. A zygote, it develops into embryo, embryo develops into infant, infant to child, child to adult. So this is also another example for differentiation. Then next is reproduction. The next is reproduction. It is the formation of new cells for tissue growth, repair or replacement, or it is the production of a new individual. So the reproduction usually occurs through the process of cell division or meiosis. That is the first one, that is formation of new cells for tissue growth, repair or replacement. It happens by cell division called mitosis. But the production of a new individual, it involves fertilization of an egg by a sperm cell to form a zygote, which is then followed by repeated cell divisions and differentiation of these cells. The formation of this egg or the sperm cell, they involve another type of cell division called meiosis. So these are the 6 life processes which differentiate living organisms from non-living organisms. So these review questions, please go through these questions. It will help you know how far you have understood these topics. The answers to these questions are given in the next slide. I hope you all like this video. This is my first video in my channel. Please do give suggestions in the comment section so that I can improve myself. If you like this video, please like, share the videos and subscribe this channel. Thank you.